Welcome to Reread. Today I'm going through the Empire comic books, issues 23 to 27. Let's do this. Number 23 stars Boshek. Oh yeah, baby, Boshek's back. I haven't seen him since Mos Eisley Cantina. He looked like a doofus in real life, but in the comic book, he's got ripping muscles. He looks like this cool sideburn wearing, 70s action man, which is not the picture of him in the Mos Eisley Cantina by far. But he's riding a big old bad swoop bike. He's on the run against from the Empire, or what he thinks is the Empire, with this girl. And it turns out the girl is really an Imperial spy trying to uncover a rebel cell. And Boshek has risked his life to save this girl, only to find out he was betrayed by the Empire. It does mention a little bit about Boshek being force sensitive. Boshek is driving over a bridge. They shoot the bridge is falling off. He zooms his swoop bike over the bridge, and as the bridge is falling, he reaches out and grabs the rope. Was it the Force? I don't know, but I sure believe in it. As he's swinging with the girl on his other hand, swinging across the chasm, because he's Boshek, the coolest guy in the world. Oh my goodness. But Boshek is really upset, and he don't want to serve no Empire lady. He's Boshek. Also, I should mention that this girl works for General Bel Abyss. A little bit of a EU continuity thrown in there as a wink to the fans. A for effort, Boshek is not an action character. He's not super cool. He doesn't have rip-roaring muscles and drive an awesome beefed-up swoop bike. But the whole time I was reading it, I was like, this is great. It's a fun little read. Unfortunately, Boshek didn't catch on with fans, and I don't think is mentioned again. This may be the last appearance of Boshek. I don't know. I'm sure if I'm wrong, everyone will let me know in the comments. So anyway, the next two, issues 24 and 25 is a two-part series. Shield, who is this girl, sees her old friend Han Solo, and she suspects him of working with the rebellion. And she goes to Jib, who was in an earlier issue of Empire. This is where Darth Vader went to an information broker to say, hey, find out where the rebel base is. You have 1 week or 2 weeks or whatever it is. Well, she goes to Jib because his time's almost up and says, look, I know I owe you a debt, but I'm going to trade my debt for, I'm going to trade information to pay off my debt. Here, Han Solo's here. He went, why would I care about Solo? He went, because he's working for the rebellion. And so Jib goes to capture Solo and is torturing him to find the base. And Solo's like, I don't know where it is. Solo's lying, but he can take all the torture that they can bring on him. Well, the girl feels bad because she thinks, oh my gosh, he wasn't with the Rebel Alliance. Because, he's being tortured so bad that's not the Solo she knows. The Solo she knows does not like pain and will easily turn on someone. Well, then when she sees Chewbacca sitting there all lonely on the Falcon's ramp because he didn't know where Han Solo went, she goes, Chewie, I feel bad. I thought y'all were part of the Rebel Alliance. Y'all weren't. I turned him in to Jib. Jib's got him. Let's you and me break him out. So then they go in and they break him out, and they both escape. Now, of course, in the end, Vader comes. Jib does not have the information that Vader needs, and so Vader lops off his head. Hey, typical, right? This little story is okay. It's okay. Shield is... he and Han Solo and Shield kind of flirt, but Shield is really ugly. They give her this ugly haircut, and she doesn't look very pretty either. So I'm like, well, Han, you're already flirting with the princess, and the princess seems a lot better looking than this, flop that you got hanging all over you. But it's Han Solo. He's a scoundrel through and through, right? So I get it. The last ones are issues 26 and 27, which is also a two-part series. Rogue Squadron lands on a jungle planet, only to discover that during the Clone Wars, a Old Republic vessel crashed on there, and a troop of clone troopers lived there for 20 years. Now, they're all dead because there's all these graves, except for one clone trooper. He suits up to join the Empire because he sees people with similar armor and thinks that's my team. But when they fire on him, because they don't know, a clone trooper, what a clone trooper is, I guess, 20 years later, he eventually sides with the rebellion because he hears the whole history and everything, and he sees that Luke goes, I am a Jedi, and he holds up the lightsaber like He-Man and goes, I am a Jedi. And the clone goes, oh, well then I'm supposed to serve the rebellion, so I'm here, let's do this. Now I'm one of you. Okay, what it is now that the prequels are out, people can start tying the prequels with the main characters, and that's all it was huzzah! Clone Trooper meets Luke Skywalker. Clone Trooper versus Stormtroopers. Yeah, I can see that. There is one painful scene, though, in the comic book that made me laugh, because it looks like the Clone Trooper is going to sacrifice himself so Luke and the others can get away, but Luke wants to save him. So Luke swoops down at full blast on an X-Wing and rams into his midsection, onto a strut. He grabs one of the landing struts and then flies off. Wouldn't that kill you? If you just swoop down, you grab the strut as it coming down on you? I don't know, man. I was like, ow! I don't know. I think that kind of hurt. But later on, this Clone Trooper is going to be featured later on in a crossover, well, in another storyline that you're just not going to care about. Again, I knew exactly what it was. Once Luke sees that Old Republic shuttle that crashed, I was like, oh, I know what type of story this is. And, again, it feels more Rebellion than Empire, because it's about Rogue Squadron on the Jungle Planet, about a clone trooper finding out the truth and joining the Rebel Alliance, not the Empire, not the other way around. And I just wish they'd have done better in giving us more stories focused around the Empire. Boshek I didn't mind as much, because he got tricked by the Empire. You thought it was him hanging out with a rebel, but it was him hanging out with an Imperial agent the whole time. But maybe it just needed more Boshek. Maybe they should have just started their own mini or maxi series, Boshek. Boy, oh boy, that'd have been awful. All right, folks, see you later.